Dude, we are unhinged today. This is going to be fun. Una, dos, tres. There we go. Welcome. You're going to take
I'm
it.
Mommy Podcast, episode 7.
Ow, ow. We made
Woo.
it. We made it.
We're here. We are keeping up our promise. Not on timeline, but más o menos. Beginning of the month, middle of the month.
Look, February was short.
Yeah.
That's
short.
my excuse.
Went by too fast. We are
Even though we got an
1/4
extra
of the
day.
way into our new year.
Yay. So Karen and I are feeling a little unhinged today, so this would be
Very.
a perfect time to go over some hot topics. If I was good at technology, there would be a little sign right here that said hot topics. Yeah, so we got into a show that I feel like all of America right now is just on the edge of their seats for. And this show is Love is
Blind. Yeah, I mean,
Got it.
it sure feels like everybody's watching it.
That's why I started watching it.
So this is the first season you watched? No, we made you watch the last season.
You
didn't we?
made me watch a season. I don't remember what it was.
Bailey and I, shout out Bay, we're watching it, and then we made you watch it and whatnot. But this one certainly feels like it's
like for America.
Reached, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
More territory. People at school are talking about it with me.
Like the kids?
The kids and the teachers.
Oh my god.
And not as many kids, but the teachers for sure. And then like it's all over social media. It's on every platform. Netflix is certainly telling me that that's one of the top 10 shows.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's true or if that's just my For You page.
Your
because I have
Netflix.
noticed, have you all noticed that when you have 2 profiles on Netflix and you log into your profile and it's like top 10 right now, and then I go into my husband's profile and it's not the same top 10. So I was like, I thought we were in the same country.
It's not?
No, not always.
Netflix, you have some explaining to do.
They do.
I need to make new
We're
pages
not supposed to be sharing accounts. That's why.
Just kidding, Netflix. What are you talking about? We don't know. I only have mine.
So yeah.
No, but I was saying in our Unhinged Live, everyone go see that on our Instagram, iMommy Podcast, that I have never been a fan of dating shows.
Okay.
And I have never been a fan of dating shows because in my head, I'm like, okay, women are so like, oh, freak this guy, like he's dating other women and he's dating me, like me está poniendo el cuerno, na na na. But then when it's on live television, it's okay for like 12 people to be dating each other. That's crazy. But
I
also
feel
drama,
Yes, exactly. So you know what you sign up for. Again, much like Love is Blind, like I feel like all the dating shows on TV, on Netflix, whatever, they're an experiment. So it's like, what happens when you throw in this variable and this variable? Like, then do you get? It's almost like, is the pressure high enough that you're like focused on finding the one?
Yeah.
Which could go either way. But also, my thoughts are always that's some white people-ish.
The dating shows?
Yeah.
Everyone say
those
it with
are. Yeah. Just things that I'm like, I'm sorry. But also, like, I do think that that's also modern day dating and love now. But I do feel like a lot of modern customs come from America. Like, it is being like the America
ways, traditions,
yeah.
whatever.
It is what impacts like our modern day stuff.
Yeah,
like it's things that were more common among white Americans. And I mean that with the utmost respect. I just like that's just different customs. But like we're very like, I think because we are so traditional and formal, like in Mexican culture, things are different. Because growing up, I was always amazed, like at my high school, the amount of little groups where it was like not diverse at all. The group, the like popular white boys and white girls that hang out together. Yeah. I went to a private school that were like, affluent and whatnot. Like it was normal for them to date each other's exes and still hang out.
Because it was in the same
And to me,
group.
that was always like,
what?
John was just dating Alex. And now Alex broke up with him and she's dating Dave. And they're still all hanging out. And it's like, within weeks. It's not like, oh, it was years. Like they did it in middle school. Like this is all within the same school year. And to me, that was always like, I could never. And I see that, and it's the same type of, situation and vibe and like these dating shows. Like to them, it's normal. And I'm like, I totally see that in the real world among white Americans. Yeah. Like typically when I would see a group of like minority or like some or those more mixed groups, it wasn't as common, but among like those groups where like most of the people were.
Sí, porque nosotros te echas de enemiga a alguien.
Yeah, like you're just like, we're not talking anymore.
We're actually now enemies.
No, and I also feel like that's like girl code. Yeah. Like I couldn't date one of your exes and still be cool with you. Yeah. That's so weird to me.
It's very
like,
weird.
How are we friends and you're dating someone that I was dating?
Yeah, it's a little awkward. Yeah.
But tell me now, like that, I saw that in high school.
Yeah, no, for sure, all the time. Like all the time. And it's funny that you say that like with the American stuff, because so with this season, I was like excited to see la muchacha that's Puerto Rican.
Oh, yes. Amy?
Yeah, there is, because they were so like in love and cute and like non-dramatic the whole time that I totally forgot their names. And I'm like,
that's what I was gonna say.
Like se me olvidó that they're even there because it was. And I feel like is that it? That every season has one couple that you're
reality
like, okay.
TV. Okay, let's talk about reality TV in general. There's favorite. People either love it or hate it.
Love. But I'm talking about like Basketball Wives.
Yes, and Real Housewives. Like I love reality TV show because it is dramatic. It's easy. What I tell my people that don't like it, that are around me, are like, oh my God, like you're annoying TV shows. I'm like, to me, it's the opposite. It's so low energy to watch it because I don't have to be like invested in it. I can be doing laundry. I can go take out the trash and come back and I'll just pick up where I left off. I don't have to pause it and come back. Like I can keep up with it. And it's so like,
for the most part, because it's super trivial things.
Yeah. And also like the problems are so stupid at the end of the day that I'm just like,
they're trivial ass things. So they're not like, oh my God, like you said, I have to pause it because I'm going to miss like a key part of the plot or whatever. It's like they're fighting about someone's purse who like got stolen or whatever. And like, it's stupid stuff. But that's what I'm telling you. That's why I love like Love and Hip Hop, because Cardi B.
Real Housewives. Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I've never watched the Real Housewives.
Nene, I love you.
So we wanted to get into Love is Blind. And more was, what did you want to discuss?
So what I was saying is like, I feel like we can talk about what are the topics that were brought up by watching Love is Blind, such as women having insecurities and looking for love, like being like highly insecure. We all have insecurities, but being in a stage in your life where you are very insecure about something, whether it's your appearance, your your job, like whatever it may be, like to a point where it's evident to someone that's not having an intimate conversation. Like if I can from the outside see how insecure you are about something and you are searching to find a partner, how that affects you.
So I just want to remind everyone, and I feel like I had to remind myself watching this. I for some reason thought that they were all like mid-30s and everyone's in their 20s. Like, dude, everyone is mostly in their 20s. Yo creo que nomás,
I don't remember.
Nomás dos are like literally 30 or 31. Yeah, but everyone else is like 27, 24, 25. But I think that that's something that we need to keep in mind because...
Yes, but they're not that young.
No, I'm not talking about being young, but not that when you turn 30, automatically you like learn a whole bunch of stuff. But it's different. You and your self-worth and like how you feel and how confident you are and stuff, it's so different in your 20s than it is in your 30s, in my opinion. And I'm waiting for it because I haven't turned 30 yet. But no, hablando de eso, sí, those insecurities, and I think we all know who we're talking about.
Yes.
Chelsea.
Sorry, girl.
I loved her in the pods.
I didn't.
She was like fun and like, oh, ha ha ha, and like was saying all the right things and stuff. And I feel like the second that she went into real life, it like real life hit, you know? All of a
Yeah.
sudden, that's where it was like when she had that big old blowout fight of like, you're out with your best friend who you fucked and na 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 na. And it's like,
That was bad.
girl, that was
Yeah. It was so bad.
initially I was like, you know what? I hate Jimmy. He's stupid. Him with Jess and Chelsea in the love triangle, quién sabe qué. Y al último, he ended up being like a favorite of mine because I'm like, he communicates so well. Even in the situations that Chelsea was putting him in, he was like so good at being like, hey, I understand if you're like mad right now, but I could work with this. I can't work with that, blah, blah, blah. And like very al punto,
Yeah.
like this is how I'm going to handle this. And I'm like, how, in what world? What was that TikTok I sent you where it's like men aren't always the problem?
Yes. So bad.
Sorry, men. But with insecurities, you cannot find love if you are insecure.
Yeah, I feel like it's so, I mean, you can have insecurities, as I was
Of
saying,
course.
right? But I think when something consumes you that much that it's at the forefront of everything that you do, because I feel like every time that they had an argument, it was stemmed from her physical insecurity.
Yeah. And then it didn't help having Jess as a competitor because she was
Yeah,
hot.
but yes, she was. I mean, like
Yeah.
point blank, Jess is more attractive
Yeah.
than Chelsea
Like the
is.
traditional
Okay.
attractive, yeah.
Yeah, but I again, like if you were there to find love and you believe that love is blind and you're like ready for marriage, you should be secure in who you are and what you bring to the table and what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And so I do think that that's also part of it. Like I
So
think
you don't think love is blind?
ideally,
Or you
this is a great question.
Okay, you guys, let's get to it. Is love blind? Initial answer with no backup talk. Yes or no?
I just don't know what it means. I just don't know.
Is love blind? Yes or no? Answer the question. I could answer.
No.
No. Love is not blind. I'm sorry.
See, this is why I have my like yes but no. Like because okay, I don't think that everything stems from appearance. So like if we're talking about blind, like if I don't see someone and I was to talk to them and spend enough time with them, I think I can fall in love with them.
Sí, pero después abre los ojos and you see that he's missing a front tooth and you're not with it anymore. I'm sorry, but no. If you're actually like a blind person, like okay, you're blind, absolutely, 1000%. Because
that's true, because you just are never gonna see like how the appearance
exactly
relates to your life,
right? But if you like, this is why if someone
you do
ever
have to have
contacted me
physical
for this,
attraction.
Everyone's gonna hate me for this. Once again, I'm gonna get canceled. Here we go. Clay was was right when he was like, "Hey, what you look like?" Because I need a little. I get you. I get it, Clay. Because listen.
I am 5'8". If I were
you
to
end
fall
up with
in
a
love
short
with someone,
king. Imagínate.
I'm sorry, short kings. You guys are amazing, but I can't do it.
Yeah. See?
I can't do it because it relates to so many other things. Like it freaking sucks, but it's the reality. Like our physical appearance relates to what kind of person we are too.
A bit.
I think that like if you were short and like, you know, depending on who you are, right? Like if you're a short girl, it's a different experience than if you're a short man.
Oh, for sure.
But if you're a short man, like you're probably getting like your friends are probably picking on you for that. So you're always trying to figure out like how to make up for it or like things like that, or it's constantly on your mind, or you like dress in a certain way that's gonna make you like it's part of your everyday life.
You're right.
Like it does change who you are and how you relate to people, the way that you look.
I never thought about it that way.
Maybe like not so intensely, but it does add to your identity. So I do think that that also changes. And so, for example, being a woman that feels like a big woman a lot of times around like your average man.
The Twin Towers.
Yeah, like around your average, like, because I'm not just tall, like I'm also like, I do feel like I'm a big woman. Yeah, I'm like, I show up. I'm sorry, but like I show up places and I'm just like, I take up space. And so as we were talking before, for those of you that have not been listening to our previous podcast, we talked about gender roles and things like that. And I think, again, like, at the end of the day, I want a man that is bigger than me because I want to feel small and cared for. And if I am larger physically than my man, I feel like I'm providing all of the comfort. And that makes me feel uncomfortable. Like,
Karen
at the end of the day, I want to be like
cuddled.
Be a baby, just physically. Even if there's nothing else, if at the end of the day you can hug me and I feel that, like, I need that.
Like the protection, like the secure.
Yeah,
like,
it's not so much that I think, oh, like, short people are not attractive or whatever. It really is the relation to me. Like, the fact that when I feel bigger than a man physically, I feel like I'm bringing wider comfort than they are to me.
I never thought about it that way. I thought that you just wanted someone like para ir al bailar.
And that too. That's a problem.
Sí, es que esta se quería ir al baile y la querían bailar los chaparritos
No,
y así no se puede.
Absolutely not.
You know what though? Do you think the short women go through that too? Of like having to think about? I don't think so. Like
I said, I think it's different. I think it's probably harder, or not harder, but it's probably more evident to be a larger woman than to be a smaller woman.
Yeah. I wonder
for the same reason, for like gender role ideals.
But you short queens are so lucky because you know how hard it is to find a tall guy, a tall, good-looking guy.
That's any good?
Impossible. That's any good.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, so no, love is not blind. What do you all think? Please leave your comments down below. Yeah. Like, I am curious. Point blank. Is love blind?
I think in an ideal world where they would live the rest of their lives in pods, it absolutely could work. Even, you know what it is? Even if they saw each other, but lived in like away from the real world. Because as soon as you go back into reality and the outside starts coming in, then that's when you get the insecurities of like, ¿qué van a decir?
Not just the insecurities. This is where we go back to, I think this might be what Kiara was talking about. I say this all the time. I have a daughter. And the first thing that I'm going to teach her about love is that love is not enough.
Oof.
Continue. Love is not enough to sustain a marriage, for sure. Like a long-term relationship. I think people have... a lot of people try to excuse like, oh, if someone is toxic to you, they don't love you. I don't think that's true. Mm-hmm. I think that someone can love you and be toxic to you.
1000%.
That doesn't mean that it's healthy and that it's right, but it doesn't mean that they don't love you, like that they don't have a love for you. And so a lot of times people say like, no, like love is enough because if you have love, you care for them. If you have love, you treat them right. Yeah. Yes, ideally. But I also believe that love can do wrong.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, so that's what I mean by like, love is not enough. You have to have love and you have to have empathy.
Everything
and
else.
You have to have common goals. Mm-hmm. And because you can love someone and have completely different goals in life, and that relationship is not going to sustain.
Yeah, for sure. And like that dicho of cuando el hambre entra por la puerta, el amor sale por la ventana. It's like, it really
money
isn't
also,
enough.
Here's the other thing. This is the other thing that I always say. La persona dijo que el amor no da la felicidad, o que el dinero no da la felicidad.
I'd rather cry in my Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's not true. I'm sorry. Like, yes, money can't buy you like being happy. Maybe like, you know, in the what do you call it? Like in the direct definition of happiness.
Yeah.
But money makes everything better.
Money buys you freedom, and freedom is happiness. In my opinion.
Yes.
Like,
and
if you're
also
free to do...
money makes everything better. Like if I'm sick, I want to have money. It's like my sickness.
Someone Venmo us, please.
Cash up, I'm Mommy Pod. Just kidding. No, but seriously, if I... You know, it's everything,
it's freedom,
literally.
Because it's I have the freedom to buy whatever house I want. It's the freedom to eat healthy food, to buy healthy groceries, organic stuff. We all know how expensive groceries are. Try buying, although right now Big Macs, McDonald's is messing up. Why are y'all so expensive? That's a hot topic.
Everything's so expensive. Panera, I am boycotting you. I am never going back to Panera after I went there last week and I just saw a TikTok. My For You page is on it. of someone being like, what the heck? I just ordered this and paid $50. Yeah, it's just not okay.
Well,
the prices of food right
but
now.
I'm saying, like,
but
you
anyway.
have the money to eat all of that or eat healthy or whatever. You have the money to drive the good car, go to a good school. Like, it helps. It doesn't equal happiness, like you said, but it sure helps. And like I said, I'd rather be sad in my Lambo than in my
It sure makes
98
everything
Corolla.
better. It sure makes everything better. It sucks, but it's the reality of the world that we live in.
Yeah, for sure. I going back to Love is Blind, I was just super, super shocked that nobody was surprised. Digo, that everyone was surprised that Clay said no. Can we talk about that real quick? Because I'm like, this man has been saying
You know
no
what
since
I'm most
the
surprised
beginning.
about? My husband was watching the show with me and like he was invested, like he paid attention and he thought that he was gonna say yes. And you know what he said?
Men.
He's like, he was smiling the whole time that he was being filmed. I'm like, it's because he's being filmed.
Ooh.
Like on his wedding day. He is such a, actually, what is he a Leo? What is his sign? Anyway.
I don't know.
But I'm like, he seems like the kind of outgoing guy that would live for like a TV moment. So yes, I don't think he was like faking it, but I do think like he understood
visually
the impact,
how it was gonna
like
look.
the impact of the visual. And so like he would, and the kind of conversations he was having were like to set himself up to not be hated.
If I text Scott in this, if I hear one more you know,
I grew.
this worked for me. I grew. I learned a lot. What?
Yeah.
Like, you what? Like, it's not about you, bro. This is supposed to be like about two people coming together to find love.
Yeah.
And everything is me, me, me. I. Y la otra mensa, I got you. I got you. I got you. Sir, you got what? You got left at the freaking altar.
No. What I saw in comments was like, it was a red flag that he thought that cheating was hereditary.
Bro. Can someone,
sir,
when they said, can someone please explain to Clay that cheating isn't in your DNA?
Like, please.
Pero espérate, if we're gonna dive deep, el papá.
I love that the dad cried. And the mom
handle Mrs. Clay. She was awesome, and the dad, I was like,
he said he's waiting for a good, or he's been looking for a good woman like you were to me, or like you to come by, whatever. And he was like, and she was like, and you were no good to me.
Y luego, yeah.
What's the point of having a good woman if you're not gonna treat her good?
Ugh, that was so cringe. But just watching the dad like see his like, oh, Mr. Como dijo, he's so suave and like, oh, cool, me vale todo y na na na. And I was just like, ew, 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 ew. Are those the children crying?
Yes.
Guys, if you hear the kids,
the kids are here.
We are so sorry.
We are moms. This is a mommy podcast.
The children will be in the back.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover?
Yes, I really wanted to talk about
Raggedy Ann. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, we can talk about her too. This is why I said like there's so many topics. But the other thing that bothers me so much is I hate when, especially women, pretend that they are okay with something in public and it's a total lie, and then they're complaining about it behind closed doors.
Okay.
I think my problem is like if you're not okay with it and you don't want to make a scene, just don't say anything. Okay. Don't add to it. Don't encourage it. Don't make it seem cool. And then go complain. Like, just let it be like, hey, you just... So I am talking about the moment.
I need a real life situation. A ver.
Well, I'm talking about the moment where Chelsea and Jimmy are at that like all couples gathering. And AD is there and he's like, dang, AD is stacked.
Oh, the beach one.
Yes.
Girl.
Yeah. And then Chelsea's like,
not this.
Oh my God. And then she's like, oh yeah, AD. Like, what did she say? Like
she literally repeated it.
Yeah, like,
damn, you're stacked.
Yeah,
Jimmy
like,
just said that. Ha, ha, ha,
how'd you
ha.
get that butt? Blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
And like, Jimmy just said this. And like making it seem like she was okay to kiki, haha, like talk
Sí,
with
que
her.
también se le hizo gracioso.
Yeah, and then like she was cool, and she even said it, and like
Yeah.
when she said it, I cringed. I knew, like, you didn't have to show me anything else. You could have paused it there and asked me, and I would have bet you $1 million that she was not okay with it.
Yeah.
When she said, "It's okay for him to say it because I said it," and I was like, the fact that you just said that means that you're not okay with it, and I just hate the hypocrisy.
Y luego también she's trying to make it okay for him, but then is gonna be mad at him after she like made
now
the whole
I have
thing.
a part 2.
Okay.
Like, how did you feel about Jimmy making a comment about?
I actually felt a very specific way because I've had that happen to me in real life. Like where someone makes a comment either about my body, the way I look, whatever, y es un conocido.
Yeah.
And you always know the way that people are trying to like communicate with you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you know the intent,
Like the intention.
You know how they were saying it.
Yeah.
I really don't think that he was saying it in like a no. I
don't
think
either.
I really think
at
that
all.
He's like, damn, this bitch looks good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that that's where I felt it actually, that moment made me believe that Jimmy actually really liked Chelsea. Like, loved
he was
Chelsea,
comfortable enough
and,
to yeah,
and that he truly, like what he said about like, hey, I feel like I'm so comfortable around you. I feel like I've known you, like I can confide anything in you. I think like that's one of the things that men look for in a lifelong partner, is someone that they can truly be vulnerable with.
Yeah.
Like in every sense of the word, even in like what you think about whether someone looks good or doesn't look good, like things that they might not say on the regular to just anyone. And when he did that, I was like, oh. And then, like I said, the minute that she said she was okay with it, I was like, you are not okay with it.
She was
because
not.
You felt like you had to publicly, like she needed to publicly make it okay to not be ashamed.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's how I know you're not okay. And to me, the fact that Jimmy felt comfortable saying it to her.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dang, AD looks good.
Yeah.
That's something that a conversation that I have with my husband all the time.
Yeah. Same.
Because we genuinely like can tell each other like who we think look. We'll check out girls together.
There's nothing better than going home and sorreando and being like, oh my God, did you see at the party? Mira que se hizo.
But also like so-and-so looks so good. Or like, you know, we'll talk about celebrities that we think are hot, are not hot. Also just like, you know, if we go out to the club when we used to go out to dance and like a girl would walk by and like they're good dancing. I'm like, damn, like, and she looks good. And like, you know, and we genuinely were having that conversation like friends. I wasn't then going home and being like, I can't believe you told me that girl's butt looked good. Like,
yeah, pobrecito.
That dissonance of like what you're showing and also like telling him it's okay and then being upset.
Yeah, it didn't click.
Yeah.
It sure didn't click.
That's never gonna work for you.
Okay, so that happened with like, oh my God, AD stacked. And then it goes right into, you know, AD being a little like flirtatious and blah, blah, blah. And I just want to say that before she started getting like extra like oomph with him, you know, of like, oh yeah, I'll talk to you later, ha ha ha. That, like, because again, it's happened to me, there is a little awkward phase after when you don't know what to do because like,
oh yeah, when someone comments on your body
and she's just like,
I'm gonna play it off,
right? Like, because también you don't want to go off as like, oh no, estos like right,
don't be checking me out or like
right, you don't want to come off rude or whatever.
Yeah,
and I feel like a lot of women don't understand that, and I just want to say that wasn't like a weird reaction from her.
I don't think so either.
I didn't really like the after part where they did get a little more ha 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 he he he, but I don't think that she had a bad reaction of being like,
at that point that you could tell wine was hitting. So I was also kind of like, That was drunk talking.
Can we talk about how Love is Blind production shout out? You never know how much alcohol is in those goddamn cups.
That's why they do that.
What is in there? Is it wine? Is it water? How much wine?
Is it straight tequila? Because
one of
things
these days
are going down.
One of the
So yeah, I know, and that's why I agree. Like at the end, it got a little too much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, they're drunk at the beach. They're like, they've been
just met each other. Yeah.
Estaban encerrados. Literally andan sueltos. So I was like, it's whatever. Like it wasn't over the top.
Yeah.
But
also, I know it was a topic of conversation because everyone's like, she did too much, and like how she did a little dance, and everyone was like mad that she did the little dance. I
think it was her like brushing it off, like, oh yeah, like what else do I say about my like you're commenting on my body, like what else can I do?
And what am I supposed to do? Like pretend like I don't look hot as hell? Because by the way, she is
hot. She is hot.
Even that wedding dress, I was like, I wish me and my 100 pounds could never.
No, yeah, she looks good. She looks real good in a bikini.
I think, okay, if you had to pick a favorite cast member, de todos.
I guess her. I enjoyed watching her the most.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. My favorite was Jeremy. Sark with his little stupid ass Hawaiian shirts. I'm with Laura on that one.
I was so like,
he's one of those
the
guys
beginning,
that
like I could tell nothing serious since the pods. Like I didn't need him. I feel like I could have been blind hearing him, and he sounded obnoxious.
Es bien inmaduro.
I was like, I could never do that.
Es bien inmaduro.
And then Laura like right away seemed so like straight. I had hopes for them because I thought they were like that couple that we all know, have seen in our lives, where like one of them is just like crazy and loud and whatever, and then you have the other one who's like very serious and by the book, and they just kind of like put him in their place. But
they work together.
They work together. So I was like, maybe they're that couple, like they're gonna make it because he's just like so immature and he like likes to crack jokes, and she's always looks so like stern and like kind of upset by it, but she can also be like, hey, because like, she even at some point tells him, dress like an adult, please. Ooh. And I was like, ooh, she's not liking that. And I was gonna say, I feel like, and he was like, oh, okay. And so I felt like that kind of like where she was kind of gonna have that motherly instinct towards him, where like she was gonna tell him what to do, but it wasn't so like naggy, but rather like, I'm just correcting him, and we like it works. But then things went out of whack.
Yeah, that was crazy. I think that it was really sad to see, honestly. Like, one thing about Jimmy and Chelsea, te digo, Jimmy might be my favorite now, actually, because like even this last episode, spoilers, but the way that he breaks it off with Chelsea is just like, because this is my thing with Clay too. You let this woman get all the way to her wedding dress.
Okay, but here's the tea.
Because he's a showman.
Yes, and I saw in all the 100 billion lawsuits that Love is Blind is going through right now.
There's lawsuits?
Yes, there are from previous cast members. If any of you know any tea, leave it down below. We should all like start a little group chat about it. But part of it is that someone leaked a contract. And one of them is like, if you propose and you go to the trip, you must show up to the altar. It's part of the contract. Like they're supposed to say no at the altar, like for the show, and it makes sense. Like that's the
then
show.
You wouldn't have anybody.
Like what if nobody? Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's part of it, but also like there's plenty of people that have had enough ethical movement to not do it.
That he was like,
let him know ahead of time.
Yeah, because I'm like you. If you know you're gonna say no, and then you have to
my man had so much patience. There were so many times where I was like, I would have been gone.
Te digo. I know that we hate him, but we love him. Jimmy might be.
So, there's so much more we could say.
What else did I want to?
Sarah Ann, you wanted to talk about her.
I don't.
Okay.
We all know. Okay, just really quick though.
No,
do you think they
okay, let's just discuss that part. Because I was talking to my husband about it, and he agreed. We both were like, that's just not okay to do. Like, even if I believe her, which I feel like I kind of do, I really don't care because to me, it doesn't matter whether you, yes, it would matter if I was, what's her name? Laura, yeah. Mm-hmm. It would matter. Obviously, it would be even worse to know that he went and he had sex with her. But even if that didn't happen, like, that's enough for me. The fact that you just proposed to me, we're supposed to be so in love. And mind you, like, these are weeks in. Like, you're supposed to be in your heightened time. Like, this is, your honeymoon stage, like the highest of your love. Like, just, you know, even physically, like, what do you call it? Like pheromones, like just physically, like love happen, like to that extent happens once, right? Like when you meet someone. And so if this is when you love me the most and you've proposed to me and you think that it's okay to go and wonder what if with someone else and stay out with them until 5 a.m. and have a car conversation, if you were having that good, even like if they really didn't have sex,
or anything else. Yeah.
I am so bothered by the fact that you had such a good car conversation to 5 a.m. with another girl. That's your person. I'm not your person.
Karen and I fell in love in a car conversation. Yeah. So
like you have those deep conversations with people that you truly connect with. So if you're having that with someone else, when you gave me a ring and told me I'm your everything, like, what can I expect the rest of our time together? That's what I was telling him. I'm like, at this point, like, it doesn't even matter to me whether they did anything. Like, I would be so done.
Yeah. I just think it's really interesting the way that she is now trying to, like, justify herself. And I don't know if it's just because also we have to think, like, these are people who put they got through the story. These are people that put themselves out there for millions to watch. And, like, I can only imagine the intensity of that because us with my 3 followers, someone says something mean to me and I'm crying to Karen about it. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't. And I can't imagine how much, you know.
Yeah, the pressure and all that.
Pressure and all that. But it's like, it's so much easier to just, okay, I fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have done that. But at the end of the day, también.
At the end of the day, if she really was in love with him, and that really is her person, and if that man is willing to come to you, maybe you are made for each other.
Yeah.
And you gotta do what you gotta do. So I don't know. I feel weird about that one.
Yeah. I just want to see the reunion. I'm ready.
Oh, I'm so ready.
What if we go live?
What if we go live on the reunion? Let us know.
See y'all Wednesday. Okay, so let's get into we have like 3 more things that we want to talk about.
Yes.
And Karen sent me this one on Instagram or on TikTok.
Do you want to describe?
Okay, so Karen is like, yo, have you seen this? And it was a video of a girl who's with 2 hairstylists, and I assume that they're famous.
Yes.
I've never seen them.
Alfredo Lewis. And I'm trying to figure out the other guy's name.
Okay.
But the girl her official account is Taylor Madison Official.
Okay. So they're doing her hair, and I had to do a double take because I've never seen her, I've never seen them, but she really does look like Kylie Jenner. Like, sí se parece mucho la muchacha. She did have super burnt hair.
Been there, done that.
Karen and I went through it at the exact same time. We had that
por eso andamos con esos pelos.
Yes, that crispy freaking blonde, you know, those do-it-yourselves, like, I'm just gonna burn my hair at home. And so she had that, like, crazy blonde hair. And they're just, like, giving her a consult and telling her, like, oh, we're gonna do a transformation.
Yeah.
And so they do the transformation. And I personally, if I went to a hair salon, whatever, and that was my transformation, I would have been fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I would have been like, and I don't even know how much they charge her. No sé si dice o no dice.
So no, they didn't charge her, but here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
They are famous.
Okay.
They do have a lot of following.
Yes.
And
that's the whole issue. Yeah.
And that's part of the issue too, that they, like, yes, they didn't charge her. They were like, oh, like, we'll fly you out. We'll take care of you, give you a transformation. You don't have to pay anything for it. But in reality, like, you know that they're making money off of social media.
It's
because they have
the
ton of followers.
now, right.
And okay, that's fine. Like that might be the exchange, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is that they didn't give her something to wow about.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. And you could see it in her face. And so many people immediately commented and were like, oh my God, like I can't believe it. You can see her face, blah, blah, blah. So then the next day, the famous stylist, Alfredo.
Pause. Oh. So the transformation was they did her hair, they pretty much colored it brown. La neta, they colored it brown and put in extensions, pero nada de length. It was more to like
to do volume.
Which if anybody who has ever gotten extensions before, they're expensive. They're so expensive. So that's why I was saying ahorita that I didn't remember it was an exchange, but when you pay for those, like you want the length. Like if I'm paying for length, I want the 20 inches or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I need Sirenita hair. Yeah. Okay, continue.
But anyway, so like the actual drama right now is that they did this and people started commenting, and so then Alfredo had to defend himself and he's like, no, like we did a consult. Yeah. She loved it. And he's even tagging her like, Taylor, haha, can you believe this? Like kind of being like, hey, come out, tell them you're okay with it because they're trashing me and bashing me right now. And so he did that, and then she did do a follow-up video where she was like, no, she had sent him a message. Yeah. Like a very people-pleasing message of like, I'm sorry, I was out of it yesterday. So he put it on the screen. A screenshot. Yeah, like of like, you see, like she's okay with it. And then she did like a follow-up video. But since it's come out that she did a like tell-all kind of video where she was like, you know what, this is the last time I'm talking about it, but I just want to say, like, the truth is that is not what I wanted. I hated it. I came home and I cried. And part of it is I did do a consult, and like I have screenshots of the inspo that I sent where I specifically showed really long hair because like layered, long, because beautiful. She had seen that their work for other people had been extensions, and that's where she commented like, I would love that for me. And they were like, oh my God, yes, let's do you. And so they saw the opportunity to like monetize off of her, but then they didn't give her what she wanted. And what she said was the reason that they didn't was because they were not being sponsored by the hair extensions company. So they got, you know, like they were other like people losing hair. Yeah, if they used it on her. So they weren't going to do that and advertise someone that wasn't paying them for it. And it's just like, it's so messed up. But besides that, I was just telling Ade, I was like, I wonder how people feel. And I feel like this is a topic. And I think it does relate a lot of times with like esthetician related stuff. You see all those girls who are like, this is what I wanted, the nails. And then it's like the nails are trash. And they're just like, okay, pay and go home.
My favorite videos are of them in the car just crying. Like, you guys, like tapándose el copete, like, look at what just happened. Or las cejas. This is another one. The eyebrows are always like, I went in there and look. And it's like
terrible. Why do we feel like we can't speak up? What is it?
We don't want to be rude.
We don't want to be rude, but also we're paying.
We don't want to hurt other people's feelings. Deja tú, we're paying and we're tipping.
Yes.
Pa' acabarla. Because I am guilty of that, where I have gone to people before and they do maybe not a horrible job, but I am not happy with what I got. And I'm still like, oh my God, thank you so much. This is great. Plus the tip. And then I'm in my car crying.
I will say that's where I draw the line. That's kind of what I do. If I don't like it, I just pay what it is. But I pay what it is. I don't complain. I don't try to say like, hey, this is splotchy, so can you like do less or whatever. More, no, like I'll just pay what it is. And same is true with like service at a restaurant. Like if the food is terrible and the service is bad, I'll still tip, but just like minimum. Yeah, minimum.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I have not had the time to like dig into it and process why. But like I am so guilty of that.
I will say for me, straight up, it's just la vergüenza.
Yeah, but why? If I'm paying for it, if I told you what I wanted and we agreed and it's different, I've had hairstylists, we were talking hair, who have told me like, hey, I can do this, but your hair might break. Like, do you want to wait or are you okay with taking the risk? And then I know. But there's people that straight up just like go to town and don't tell you knowing that things could go wrong, and promise you that things are going to go well.
It might just be because it's someone else's work. It's someone else's craft, and you don't want to like shit on someone else's work, even if it's bad, just to not make them feel bad. Does that make sense?
But there's
I need
some
to get
things
rid of
like nails where like you get like those big like bolas like where it's obviously a bad job
Yo
and
por
like
eso
why
ando
can't I
así,
speak
dando
up?
vergüenza.
I don't know why I can't. And I'm gonna tell a little story of something that just happened to me. It wasn't bad, but I just went to a photographer.
Oh my God.
And I signed up for a mini photo session with my baby. And I'm gonna say the reason that I didn't say anything in this one was because I felt like I missed by not asking questions ahead of time. So I had he didn't give me an expectation, so I couldn't be like, hey, I thought you told me this. Because it was just like, hey, mini sessions, $120 or whatever it was. I was like, oh, that's super cheap. Mini session, like, you know, when you go for a photo shoot, it's usually like an hour to 2 hours. So maybe this is like a 45-minute, 30-minute thing. Like, that's what I was envisioning, right? Like under an hour since it's mini. Get a couple of digitals. Like, it's probably like, you know, and I think that was the only thing, like digital photos, like nothing printed. And like, you can always get printed stuff through his studio. And I showed up with my baby and we had an appointment, I think at 2 p.m. And I showed up early. We were there at 1:50 and no one else was there. So like we started getting baby out of the car. My sister was with me. That probably took us like 5 minutes to get into the studio. And it was like we parked right in front of it. And by 2:07, I was back in my car. Like I had already paid. Or maybe it had been like 2:50 when we walked in. Anyway, it was like 12 minutes. And we took the pictures and it felt fine. And like he directed me and like he was nice. He wasn't rude or anything. But when it was done, I was just kind of like, that's it. Like that felt so fast. Like a 12-minute photo shoot. And like I had like a backup dress for baby. I was like, if he gives me a chance, if there's a bathroom, like I'll change her so she can have another outfit. And I did it and I didn't feel like I could speak up just because he was so like, okay, and then we're gonna do this and that. And okay, like, okay, ladies, we're done. Like no change or like, is there any other photo you wanted to take? Like there was no invitation for more time.
I hate that.
So I was just like, okay. And then I just paid and left. And I just was so bamboozled. Like I was just like.
Did you feel like
used? I did.
When you told me that of like, I'm done. I'm like, what are you talking about? You just, what? Like, I was like, what time is it? Am I in a time vortex?
Yeah.
Okay, lots of stuff there. Number one, I can't believe that you let him do that. Number two, you as a professional running a business, mínimo should have the capacity to explain to people what is happening when they are going to get whatever service you're giving. If I go and to get have a little photo shoot, hi, this is how it's gonna go.
And it is only 15
minutes. I could only do 50 pictures. It's gonna take around 10 minutes. If you have any other questions, please let me know. This is how it's gonna go. It's gonna feel fast. I was just so rushed and I've been trying to get pictures with my baby since she was born. She's 10 months. I tried to do the Santa pictures. We never made it. Like I was like, I just need to book something so I can pressure myself to show up so that I have some pictures with my baby because my husband has a million because I take pictures of him with my baby all the time. I want to fight our men over that. Yes. What is that? I have like one picture with my newborn and that's it. And that is it. But no, los papás sí, 1000 fotos y jajaja y sonrisa. And last I checked, I was the one with my baby 90% of the time. Okay. Anyway. And same is true for like, I tell him all the time, I'm like, maybe you don't care about photos, but our baby's gonna care because I wish I had more baby photos with my mother. Yeah, same. And I don't. And anyway, it's just like, I just kind of did it, like booked, okay, and like put it in my calendar and gotta show up and like order some clothes and like this and that. And I was just so in it that I was like, damn, I literally was never like, hey, when I show up, what's like, how long is it gonna take? Like, how many, like, no questions asked. I was just like, okay, great. Like, and part of it was also like, it was affordable compared to other photo shoots. Yeah. So I was just like, oh, it's cheap. Even if it's quick, like, as long as it's a nice studio and nice photos. Quick. Yeah. So,
Anyway, I did not know how to speak
Were you
up.
happy
And
with the
it's
pictures?
totally, I did get some cute pictures.
Okay.
Not all, I didn't like all of them, but that's just me. I don't always like my photos. So I, at least like I do have like some solid photos that I like. So I was like, okay, in the end of the day, it worked out fine, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I'm like, man, should I have
feel
just
like
said
that's
something?
a woman thing too. I feel like men don't go through that. Like, no les da vergüenza.
Yeah,
Or maybe.
maybe.
We need to get
I
them
wonder
on.
for what
Like
though.
haircuts.
Yeah, maybe. True.
We'll see. So, yeah, tell us if you're like that too, because who knows? What else?
I have one more that's not like, I don't think it's as popular, but it was, and I'm looking it up because I want to cite it.
So, according to the Shade Room,
Yes, according to the Shade Room, do not cite us because we are citing the Shade Room. I have not looked at the government documents.
dun, 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 dun.
Kentucky Senate passes bill to allow parents to collect child support during pregnancy.
During pregnancy.
Bill heads to House of Representatives for consideration.
Okay. So that means like I left my partner and now I need child support because I'm pregnant?
Yes.
So that's what I said. I said if so I would leave my baby daddy and get child support because if I could have money now when I'm pregnant,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You mean like you might leave your baby daddy sooner than you would before? Because
1000%.
before maybe you had to stay while you were pregnant until the baby's born and then collect? True.
And now I could
and that is baby mama math for you.
Tell me not. I'm not waiting.
Well, yeah, no, but what I was thinking, it was different. So yes, I get it. I get what you were saying. That's why I was like, what? So I think that it's fair because what I was thinking is like, women endure so much emotionally, physically, and also financially during pregnancy. Maybe the financial strain is not huge, but there is a financial like tax that the dad doesn't have to worry about. And so I feel like it's fair. And I went through it while I was pregnant, like just thinking about, oh my God, like I never think about how much women actually have to start spending money from the moment they get pregnant. Like you just assume like, oh, they're preparing for that baby. I was saying that. I'm like, I was telling my husband when I was going through it, I was like, oh my God, like I literally have a $30 monthly subscription because I have to pay for prenatals every month and they're $30.
The cheap ones, imagínate.
The cheap ones.
Like the más o menos one, imagínate.
Or whatever. Like you could always get more expensive ones.
And this is why finances matter.
Yes. But also like, yes, the reality is like a child costs from the moment they are conceived and you know you're pregnant and you have to take care of yourself differently. Yeah. Especially if the mom is going through any, like she needs a special diet. She like, you know, all of that involves more cost. Like having to eat healthier is more expensive.
Yep. Even the
maternity
super
clothes.
Little things.
Like I was so annoyed at maternity clothes. First of all, they're hideous.
Can someone come up with some good maternity
clothes? Let me look
clothes?
it up right now, real time. Maternity
trying to get like
jeans,
leggings that fit you and just
the average cost maternity jeans right now 198, 76, 197, 47. This is on sale. Original price $80. Mango $89. Like one pair of jeans for a pregnant woman is $100. Yep. And I'm not going to survive with one pair, right? And if I am a working pregnant woman, as I was, who is a professional, who has to dress up in professional wear every day, Monday through Friday, I had to buy clothes that I fit in pregnant. I was at work up until my due date. Yeah. And it was horrible. And to buy clothes that last month that you know you're never going to wear again.
And that's the
and
like,
it's so much money.
Yeah, that it's like
so much.
Why? Like I'm spending $200.
Your tummy changes every day, but also like maybe I could fit into clothes probably for like 2 months. Yeah. So I was pregnant 10 months. So 5 different times I had to buy a new wardrobe. Yeah. That you like if you think of $50 to $100 for a pair of maternity jeans and like having to buy that every 2 months and you need multiples and like if you are someone that needs to go anywhere where you have to look presentable. Genetic testing. What is that one called? What was it called? Like the one that It's technically a choice, but it's not, because when you're there at the gynecologist, like they're like, you have to like just choose which one. There's no like, do you want to take a test? It's like, we need to know because what you need level, to prepare.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the minimum one is $200, right? Sí, like that was like the more basic. It's $200 for one single test. Depending on your insurance, you have to pay every time that you go, and you go every month.
Yep.
At the beginning, it's weeks, and then at the end of your pregnancy, it's every week.
It's every week, yeah.
Like I wonder actually what's the average like amount that a woman spends during pregnancy.
A lot.
So I think that it's only right.
Yeah.
If you, especially if you are someone who is irresponsible, who is out here, you know, like having women get pregnant Nick and Cannon. You take off and you get to do whatever you want.
Nick Cannon.
So, I mean, I think Nick Cannon is paying. That is this is a like added hot topic that I've been wanting to discuss since Christmas. Because did we all see the 9 different Christmas photos from Nick Cannon?
It's the audacity for me. It's the audacity.
It's the happy family perfect picture with his 9 different families for me.
I just can't imagine being one of those baby moms just sitting there waiting for my turn.
But hold on. Shade room, give me 1 second. Because the names, you keep talking about the fact that he has all these families, but I'm going to find you the family tree because...
and I think it was being said that, like, he was saying that he just wants his bloodline, or it was something creepy like that.
And it's so culty.
It's so culty, like, my bloodline is the best, so I'm going to have 12 kids. And I don't understand it. Also, just being a mom of one, how are you going to... Y también it tells you the difference between moms and dads.
Okay, we have to figure out how to clip this because it's too good.
What is it?
The family tree that the Shade Room put out.
I can't. With all the names and all the baby mamas?
Yes.
I wonder if Mariah Carey is just so embarrassed.
So embarrassed.
I bet you she is.
That is her biggest mistake.
I bet you she is. Not the kids. The kids are beautiful, but good God.
Oh, this is from Christmas Eve, December 24, 2023. Mariah Carey, 2 children, Monroe and Moroccan.
Fine.
Abby de la Rosa, 3 children, Zion, Zillion,
Zillow.
And Beautiful. Zillow? No.
No, digo, it should have been Zillow. That was all for today.
You mean the third one? They really missed with that one. Zion, Zillion, and Oh my God. I need a facilities break. That we're up to 5 with 2 baby mamas. Brittany Bell, Golden Sagan. Golden Sage, or I don't know. Powerful Queen and Rise Messiah.
Culty. It screams cult. It screams
We're at 8 children. Brie, Legendary Love. They have 1 children. She's the one from Selling Sunset.
I don't know any of them.
And then Alyssa Scott, they've got Zen and Halo Marie. And then with Lanisha Cole, he's got Onyx Ice Cole. So he's got a total of 12 children with 6 women.
It's comical, honestly.
To me, it feels irresponsible. Just because you're rich and you can afford child support doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're going to be lacking as a parent no matter what. Like,
also,
that time, how are you going to split time between 12 people? Because they're 12 different humans. They're 12 different kids with 12 different needs. And you're going to be missing with one of them.
Like, none of them are going to have the ideal, like,
father
figure that they should have.
Yeah. It's
and whatever, like, right, like that situation in life, but this feels like this is a choice.
Decision.
This is a decision like, that you're making. Sure.
Yeah.
But also the women.
That's what I was gonna say. Shout out to the
like,
women.
Like, how would you feel being the mother number 7 right now? Like, he comes to you and he's like,
you're like, okay,
what is
things
it?
happen, you know? But you're coming in at number 6 and 7. It's like, dude, what red flag central? Like
Central.
like a centro de red. I sell red flags here. Like, come on in.
Risa Tisa dijo from, we didn't talk about that. What did she say? The United Flags of I don't know, the world or something. Literally.
Yeah, it's just as a person, I think you need to like think about what you want and stuff because it's irresponsible. Like, it's too much. It's even I think about having another kid, and it's like, oh my God, all the things that, like, all the time that I wouldn't be sharing with Vicente that I would have to like split with this other child. And that feels like so scary. I can't imagine doing it with 12. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Too much.
And all the moms dealing with each other, like.
I would totally check out.
Yeah.
I would totally check out. Maybe money isn't that great. Psych.
Psych. I want money.
Anyway.
Give me money. I love money. In the words of Sofia Vergara.
Oh.
Let's look her up. What would make you happy right now? Money.
She says that?
Yeah.
I love her. She's an icon.
Agreed.
Okay, well, I think that was it for this episode.
Yes.
Talk to us, people.
Yeah, send us stories. We want to do stories next time. Mm-hmm. We do have some guests in the works.
Yes. So and to everyone who did respond to my call the other day of like sending me things,
we're saving them.
Thank you so much. We did not forget you. We have them. We're just gonna do like a special episode, but please like send us stuff.
Yeah.
Not mean stuff.
Next time remind me to wear lip gloss. My lips are crusty.
Okay. Anyway, goodbye.
All right. Bye.